Hello, Hunter Hinckley here, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to overcome imposter syndrome. So, imposter syndrome is what people call when they're starting to do something new, they often feel very uncomfortable or like they're not qualified or just like an imposter, essentially, right? So, the way that we overcome imposter syndrome is by first understanding that the discomfort that you get when you are doing something new is natural, right? Because we haven't wired in that new thing into part of how we see ourselves, essentially, right? So the book Psycho-Cybernetics talks about how we will always act in alignment with our self-image. So if we're doing something new that's out of alignment with our self-image, it's going to feel uncomfortable. And this isn't a bad thing. This isn't telling you that you shouldn't be doing this thing. And it could be because you're making a very positive change in your life or you're finally doing something that you've been wanting to do for a long time. And really, what you need to understand is that everybody experiences this when they're doing something new. I'm experiencing a little bit right now, making my first YouTube video. So I thought this would be a good topic for my first video. So something that I've noticed that for me, going to the gym has never been something I've really struggled with because I enjoy it and I started doing it kind of at a young age. But there's a lot of women that I've talked to throughout my life who say that when they go to the gym, they often feel uncomfortable or they feel like they are out of place a little bit, right? They feel a little bit like an imposter, like they don't really know what they're doing there, that people are judging them and things like that. And really, I think if you understand how it works, like if you just understand that you're only a few reps away from wiring it in to starting to see yourself as a person who naturally is fit and goes to the gym, right? So the more you start doing, the more time and repetitions you put into doing that new thing, the more natural it will start to feel. After you've gone to the gym, 30 times, it's probably not going to feel unnatural anymore. So you need to just keep going through the discomfort that's going to be associated with when you first start. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And it really doesn't take that long is something I've realized. Is it really doesn't take that many reps until it starts to become more wired into how we see ourselves, right? It just takes a few repetitions to get to where you want to be, to get to having it become more of a part of how you see yourself, and you'll start to wire it in more as something that's natural for you. And ultimately, at that point, it will become a habit, right? It might take a little bit longer than just like the initial discomfort to go away, but once it becomes a habit, it'll start to happen more automatically, right? So a lot of the activation energy that people often need, the conscious energy that we need to in order to start something new, like right we need to kind of be like, okay, I haven't gone to the gym in 3 years. I'm just using the gym as an example. This could be anything, but if that's the case, then you could just you might have to be like, okay, today I'm going to go to the gym. Just set the intention and just do it. So it's going to take a little bit more what I call activation energy. But then once it becomes more natural, once it becomes just like a habit, you just see you're just a person who goes to the gym for 5 days a week or whatever, then it'll just happen. It'll just happen automatically, right? You won't have to think about it. You won't have to use any activation energy, right? So it'll just start to happen naturally. I can think of a lot of examples in my own life. And I think the reason why this is a good first video for me is because I'm doing it right now. This is a good example. It really doesn't feel that uncomfortable because it's something I feel like I've wanted to do for a while, speaking in front of a camera for my YouTube channel. But I do think that it did take a little bit of priming. I would kind of visualize myself doing this thing, and I think that can be very good too, is visualizing yourself doing the new thing. The book Psycho-Cybernetics also talks about how basically visualization is way more important than most people actually realize, and it's way more powerful than most people realize. And there were some examples given in the book Psycho-Cybernetics where they would get two groups of people. They would have one group actually practice shooting free throws, and then they would have one group sit there and visualize themselves shooting free throws, right? So one group was actually shooting free throws. The other didn't shoot any free throws. All they did was visualize it. Visualize, shooting the perfect free throw or going in the net. And surprisingly enough, both groups, the ones who actually shot free throws and the ones who just visualized it, actually improved the same amount. Like, they were like neck and neck. There was like maybe 1 or 2% difference in how much they improved. Another example is given a very similar experiment in shooting darts, right? So they had one group of people throw darts and one group visualize it and visualize getting the outcome they wanted, and they both improved roughly the same. This has actually gone even farther, to the point where it's kind of mind-blowing. There were experiments done where they had people think about flexing their bicep but not actually think about it, and there was increased strength there. And they even took it as far as wrapping a cast around people's arms to where they literally couldn't flex a muscle, but still they sat there and visualized it and thought about it, and even that showed increased strength in the muscles that you couldn't even flex, right? So it's pretty wild. The power of your own mind is a lot more than most people realize. And I think that it's really fascinating. And I think that, we really are the creators of our reality. And that's something I kind of want to talk about a lot on my channel, is really get into, I'm going to be exploring a lot of these concepts of how we actually do create or filter how we experience our reality with our beliefs, with our energy, with our thoughts, with how this all actually changes how we experience and interact with reality, which subsequently is, kind of determines the results that we get in life. So if you're like, I'm here at A and I want to be over here doing this thing or have this result, kind of show how it actually works, how we can align our thoughts and our energy and our beliefs to align with that. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you will only allow yourself to experience as much abundance as you believe that you're worthy of experiencing. You will only ever experience any level of abundance the amount that you feel you're worthy of receiving. So if on some level you don't believe that you're worthy of love, for example, or something along those lines, then you will sabotage yourself on something. It might be unconscious too. You might not even realize that you're doing it, but it's something that you could just be doing. So anyway, this is my first video. I kind of want to do a little introduction. So like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting a lot more content like this, and I will see you next time.